is a UTV-44 sports production. This is the UTV-44 high school football game of the week. Brought to you by Whataburger.
Well, they've been talking about the possibility of this game happening all the way since the preseason, and it does come to fruition tonight as the Spanish Fort Toros, defending 5A state champions, ranked #1 with a 21-game winning streak, play host to the region champion Jackson Aggies, ranked #2 in the state, 12-0. Everybody thought maybe if everything aligns right, this game will happen. Well, it's happening tonight right here on UTV 44 from Spanish Fort. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox. My partners Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett. We've all been looking at it. We're all season long kind of saying this could happen, and it's finally here.
It's here, and it's a couple of teams with incredible pedigrees. One's been around a long time in Jackson. Spanish Fort, new to the party, but they've dominated the party since they've shown up.
Both teams score a lot of points, and for Spanish Fort especially tonight, it's going to start with their quarterback.
Well, we first saw Tyler Johnston a little bit last year as a freshman. We knew he could run it, and he shows that right here. He's got over nearly 600 yards rushing this year. But what Johnston's done is been able to execute this offense of Coach Freeman, and that means being able to make things happen in the air. There's the run again, but what he's done in the air is pretty amazing for a sophomore. 2,600 yards, 30 touchdowns in the air. He's also run for nearly 600 yards and 8 touchdowns, so he's accounted for 38 scores, only 3 interceptions. This kid, we've talked about it from the start, his stats by the time his career is over are going to be crazy, plus the fact, hey, they haven't lost.
Yeah, and after kickoff, we'll talk about Matthew Jordan, the quarterback for Jackson, as well, to figure out exactly what his status is. But Jackson's 12-0 for a reason, Vic. Great defense. They've faced 43 or forced 43 turnovers this year. Starts with their linebackers.
Yeah, and this is going to be a clash of titans for certain. And this defense haven't given up more than 21 points a game. And they're led by that young man right there, Gavin Bryant. 6'2", 225 pounds, 32 tackles, 56 assists, 15 tackles for a loss. Look for him to be a factor tonight because, you know, defenses want to get teams out of their comfort zones. You know, they're going to want to be balanced. Look for him, I think, looking at him, he's going to stuff the run and make them pass the football in terms of the Spanish Fort group. So look for this to be a slobber knocker.
Yeah, it's going to be that for sure. We're here in Spanish Fort. Kickoff comes next between the Aggies of Jackson and the Toros from Spanish Fort. Winner moves on to the semis. Jackson wins the toss, and they'll receive. Alexander Theodore ready to kick. Michael Phillips back deep, and this one will go into the end zone, and Jackson will start at the 20. This is a very intimidating place to come and play at any time, but especially this time of the year, huh, Pat Greenwood?
Hey, you got that right. You know, the average margin of victory for both of these teams, you know, Jackson's beating people by 32 points a game, Spanish Fort beating people by 35 points a game, but the X factor may be the fact that we're in Spanish Fort. The Toros undefeated all time at home in the playoffs. Now, Jackson brought the entire town of Jackson, Alabama here, so they've got some support here, too. It's going to be fun.
Matthew Jordan out there to start at quarterback. He is going to Georgia Tech. Hurt his knee on the 5th play of the game last week. Did not come back. And he'll look to throw to start it. Wants to come to the near side, and that's going to be a pass interference call. Wow, that was just a hit out at midfield while the ball was up in the air. Tony Mitchell came and delivered the blow. Didn't even look for the football.
I don't know what that was all about at all. I mean, Mitchell wasn't playing the ball, and as egregious a foul as you can have to start the game or any time during the game. Watch it again.
Yeah, he had his head around looking at the football, not necessarily looking at the receiver, and just kind of impede him from going to the route.
Yeah, easy call on Tony Mitchell there. Deshaun Hunt is who they're looking for. He's one of those big receivers, 6'2", 220.
Yeah, he can go and grab it. He was an outside linebacker last year for this team, and now they switched it. They had so many good guys on defense, able to put that talented kid on offense, and he has produced.
He definitely looks the part. That's the guy we were looking at pregame.
Matthew Jordan to keep this one. Good call there. Get that knee tested out, kind of get him a little confidence, see if he can go. They say they thought he was about 80%. Trying to go and battle through it, but the coaches also said if anybody can go, it's him because he's as tough as they come. Jackson, Worthy, Byrne, Thomas, and Filan up front. They are big. 285, 280, 240, 320, 260 across the front. The receivers are big as well. Fox, Hunt, Cavanis, the tight end. Gilmore can go get it. Jordan and Foreman, who's rushed for over 500, almost 500 yards. in the backfield. Second and short. Jordan will step out of bounds, but he'll have the first down at the 48. Matthew Jordan on the year averaging 257 yards of total offense per game. And the Spanish Fort defense, they are stingy. Cole, Williams, Williamson really plays well at that defensive end. Three, Campbell, Hall, Thomas Johnston, the mean freshman linebacker there for the Toros in the secondary. Ronald Smith, every time he's been on TV this year, he has made a big play defensively. Townsend, Leach, and Mitchell back there for the Toros. First and 10, and the first time tonight, Foreman will carry it, and he is brought down by the freshman we just talked about, Thomas Johnston.
Yeah, he'll fight off the block and make a play for you. You watch him all night. Now, the thing about Jordan, even if he is starting the game at this, you know, you can throw that number out there, 80%. Okay, that's where he starts at. You know, during the game, where does he end up in terms of how efficiently he can cut and run and do the things that he wants to do? He is just as big threat as a runner as he is a thrower.
Yeah, that's his game. Over 900 yards rushing tonight. Only thrown 80 interceptions this year. And he look to go over the middle here. That one's tipped in the air. There's nearly one, and they do have it. As we say, he has not thrown but 8. DeAndre Townsend gets the tip ball as they tried to go to Gilmore.
Yeah, he got it off the deflection there. Looks like the receiver could have had a clean catch there, but a little bit of lack of concentration out here early, getting settled down. Goes through his hands there, a little bit behind him, but tip drill, interception.
Yeah, put the jugs gun on this one, too, because that was a quick slant, and Matthew Jordan gave it all the heat he had.
Sure. And a personal foul, too. A little bit of pushing after the play. Referees want to get it settled down.
Might have been on, it was a decline penalty, so. Take a look.
After the play, personal foul on the offense. After the play,
offsetting.
Foul on the defense. Penalties offset. Result of the play is the interception, first down, Spanish Fort.
So here come the Toros, led by Tyler Johnston. Dan talked about him in the pregame show. 2,600 yards through the air, 30 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. Michael Howard in the backfield. And he'll get it to start it in a big hole up the middle. He's across the 40, now into Jackson Aggie territory to the 47-yard line.
Trap play right up the gut, Dick Lockett.
Yeah, we talk about it every week about assignment football. This time the guy assigned to the fullback just did not take a look at him. And the fullback had the football, and he up the field for a quick gainer there. Kick the sticks, and it's a first down.
Over 1,300 yards for Howard this year, and he gets 21 on that carry. He'll take it again. Up the middle. We were talking with Jeremy Sullivan, defensive coordinator of the Jackson Aggies, before the game as we look at the offense here. DeLong, Brensel, Murray, Mangum, and Ian Bureau. The starters up front. Receivers Sammy Harris, Christian Cotton, Marion, and Harrison, Shable, and Johnston. And we'll see a lot of Michael Howard in the backfield there tonight as well. And we'll see him get it here. He's inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Dan and I were talking to Jeremy Sullivan, defensive coordinator for this group here, and we'll get to that in a minute. Mullen, Davis, and Smith up front. They are big there as well. 240, 260, 260. The linebacker, Smith, Roch Bryant. Vic talked about him. And Wheeler, Morris rounds it out. And these are a couple of good corners. Crosby and Taylor, they will go get the football. Marita and Lang, your safeties. And third and very short here for the Toros is Hunter Wood. Comes in to block. Tyler Johnston has rushed it for almost 600 yards, but they give it instead to Howard. And he has stood up, but he's going to have the first down still on his feet. Looks like forward progress will get him to the 36-yard line. That'll be a first down, and now we'll say Jeremy Sullivan was talking about Mark Freeman, the play coach, the play calling of the Spanish sports coach, and he said he just sets you up so well all game long.
Hey, you know what?
They did not like the spot.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. He kept driving, so they took away forward progress because he kept fighting. And so it ends up fourth and very short as the Aggie defense finally stands up to this rush game of Spanish Fort.
Play clock inside of 10 here. How about the atmosphere here? It's electric.
It's wild.
Play clock down to 3. hard count. They'll get it off. Johnston wants to keep it himself, and right up the middle, he's got the first down and more to the 27.
There's going to be a lot of space initially at contact because they're playing that spread 3-4 defense. And those linebackers are going to really have to creep up there if they're going to have any success against this trap offense that they run, because there's going to be plenty of space here. You take a look at it there.
If you're a safety and Johnson's coming downhill after you, in your direction, get ready for a collision.
And those backers probably two-gapping it there in terms of their responsibility. It's just going to be too much space in the middle there every time. And as you can see right there.
To the 21 goes Michael Howard.
Are the splits on Spanish Fort particularly wide?
I'd like to get a shot just from the end zone to see there, but I'll tell you what, just because of their alignment here defensively, this is one of those offenses you don't want to play against when you're playing that 3-4 spread with 4 linebackers. Yeah, there we get a look there. They do have really good size splits there, and that causes more space to be available there because the defensive tackles are going to line up based on the offensive lineman's positions.
Howard stood up at the 20. They are really trying to rip that football away, and they do at the end of the play, and there's a whistle. You could see it in there as that ball, they were trying to strip it out and eat. Icon Crosby did, but the whistle had just blown, they say.
Well, I'll tell you.
But the Aggies are known for that as well, is what I understand. They love to rip the football a lot, cause some turnovers, and switch the football game over.
Let's see if he is down or if he's not down. The ball's out before. Yeah, he wasn't down. Now, if the whistle blew, that's one thing, but that was a blown call.
Yeah, but tough call, though. His butt was just about to hit the ground.
3rd and 2.
But a big call.
Yeah.
Petway comes in motion all the way across the field. Howard cuts it back. Took a lick, but he's got a first down inside the 15.
Yeah, these linebackers are having linemen in their teeth before the play even gets developed. And then once it's developed, they've got to deal with that lineman and try to get rid of him to make a play. It's going to be a tough night for them if they continue to change it.
Nope.
Haven't thrown it yet.
Approaching the halfway point of the opening quarter. 7 carries for Howard so far, 42 yards. Seeing Hunter Wood, the tight end, and a lot more on the blocking side of things here in this first drive. Now they'll run it with Johnston to the near side. Tries to get to the corner and still on his feet. Boy, and I think this is a Jackson team you have to be careful as the play keeps going, because they are going to stand you up and come and try to rip that football out.
Yes, that's their MO, and if you keep trying to fight for extra yards against this group, they're going to try to get the football on the ground and give it back to their offense.
I got news for you. They got it once. It didn't go their way on the official's call, but
Pat Greenwood.
Hey, this is a 5A game, right? I'm looking at the size of these kids. You sure this isn't 6A?
Yeah, they are big in Jackson. Woo.
Every one of them.
Yeah, they are a Husky group. I can tell you that. I was down on the field before the game, and I was surprised at the size of them as well.
And from Jackson being schooled the way they are, they're just not big guys. They're big football players.
10th play of the drive for the Toros. Johnston wants to throw it a little behind. It's tipped in the air, and Sammy Johnson can't hold on to it. Sammy Harris
trying to get that slant in. It was behind him. He wasn't able to pull that one in.
Johnston goes to Harris, his go-to guy. He's got 43 catches on the year. This one just a little behind him.
Take a look at it there, and he thought the tip drill would come into play here for Jackson, but the defender didn't have his eyes on the football.
Johnston looks to get it over the middle, incomplete. He was trying to come to Ladero Petway on a inside screen and bring up 4th down.
Well-executed play, just didn't get the catch.
Yeah, and a big stop for Jackson if, in fact, Spanish Fort goes ahead and tries a field goal attempt here, because they go right down the field and they walk away with only 3.
And it's rare that we see these guys get in the red zone and don't come away with 6 points.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Alexander Theodore on from 28. And the Toros take the 3-0 lead. And Jackson's defense stands down in the red zone. But Spanish Fort on top first. And it looks like it's going to be the game we've all hoped for here tonight. Toros on top with 4:52 to go in the opening frame. Spanish Fort goes on top by a score of 3-0 with the field goal from Theodore. Is it a slobber knocker so far, Vic?
Yeah, they are trading punches back and forth. Let's see what happens now. Jackson gets another crack at it.
Theodore with a high, deep kick. And again, the Jackson Aggies will start at the 20. Jackson just a couple of years ago, 2011, state champions, 15-0. First year, Coach Danny Powell. What a treat it was talking to him down on the field before the game.
Oh, the guy's won 3 baseball state championships along with his football titles at Leroy and
4 in
Jackson.
5 years in Leroy.
Yeah.
Then shows up in Jackson and goes 15-0 for the welcome home party.
I think that's like a 10-minute drive too. I mean, it's not. It ain't far from here to there.
Matthew Jordan stays in at quarterback.
And the referee, I think, has a problem probably with the equipment of one of the players, and he says he's got to go out and get that taken care of.
Jarrell Foreman heads out.
Jarrell's nickname is Hollywood.
Yeah. Michael Phillips.
We'll reset the play clock.
Freshman comes in. Jordan to throw back to the far side. That one complete out to the 25, but not much more.
Jim, when you watch this offense too, it's all Danny Powell. This is his bread and butter. He's the Mark Freeman of Jackson. I mean, he designs it. He tries to set you up. He's got some personnel that can beat you, but he puts him in spaces to do that. And there you got the guy pulling the trigger right there. He's one of the best in the state.
That was Sponks with his 34th catch of the year. Had a 54-yard touchdown catch last week. Now we'll give it off to Hollywood, and he is hit immediately at the 25-yard line. Good penetration by Matt Hall.
Yeah, he was in there like he knew the play was coming. You talk about playing downhill. That linebacker was right there in his grill shortly after he takes the handoff. Just snatches him down to the ground.
Hollywood was stopped at the city limits right there.
just made it to Burbank and no further.
He was Hollywood bold.
Yes, he was. Now,
3rd and 4.
see if we see Jordan using his feet. And just how good are his legs.
Holnitz and Gilmore to the bottom of the screen, and Jordan will roll that way. Feels pressure, now wants to go back the other side. Gets tripped up from behind as John Williamson got him down around the ankles.
Now right there you can see where his knee wouldn't allow him to just turn around and make that cut like he probably normally used to doing. And the defender just runs him down from the back as he tried to roll out, and right there just couldn't get it to respond as quickly as he'd like to.
A little credit to the coverage team there for Toros as well.
He was looking for something quick, Jim, and whatever he was looking for, it was not there. And then suddenly, and it was to the right because they just moved the whole pocket that way. It wasn't there. He had to use his feet. Maybe a week ago, before he gets hurt, he can make something out of that.
Jordan is the punter as well. Ladero Petway with pressure will have to retreat. Pulls this one in back around the 28, and he'll be dropped all the way at the 24-yard line. And the ball came out, and the official kind of tentatively says he was down. He was not emphatic about saying he was down there, but the Toros defensively come up with a stop, and they have a 3-0 lead, and they'll have it at the 24 late in the first. Packed house in the fort here tonight. Howard across the 25. There were people who came down from Jackson yesterday to put their seat cushions on the bleachers yesterday. Turned around, drove back to Jackson, and got in the car and came down here this morning to get ready for the game.
Jackson must be the home of personalized seat cushions because they knew which was theirs, I guess. But
and you probably better not touch it either.
You probably better not.
They brought in extra bleachers from the Little League fields here in Spanish Fort to put around the side of the field.
There's a football watching code of conduct in Jackson, Alabama, I'm sure. Don't mess with my cushion.
Petway goes in motion, and they'll give it to him. Ladero Petway with some speed. He's got a seam on the outside, and Petway out across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Gets him out of jail, changes field position at the very least.
Yeah, if you take a look at it here, he gets turned inside, and I thought he was going to have some help inside, but no, he turns the jet zone and gets away from him. A little quick face mask there, but really incidental, so they didn't call it. Good
Brandon
no call.
Lang, the safety there. How about Mark Freeman, 35-5 here at Spanish Fort. Since taking over, third season, of course, won the state championship last year.
He had a really good season at Gulf Shores. Hit their best season ever.
Yep.
His one season down there.
First and 10, Howard right up the middle, and he's inside the 40 to the 37-yard line, and the Toro offense moving again.
They're just going to have plenty of space inside there to go work with.
Local games going on tonight. McGill 2 and Smith Station could set up a McGill-Auburn rematch next week. Of course, the winner of this game gets the winner of of St. Paul's and Saraland. Class 4A, UMS right on the road at Dadeville, and 3A, Bayside Academy. The Road Warriors been on the road every week of the playoffs. And T.R. Miller at Leeds tonight, rounding out our local playoff action. Howard takes a big hit after a stutter step at the 35-yard line.
I can tell you, Dan felt that one up here by Jarrell Murder. Dan jumped in the air to that stick right there.
Yeah, I think I've got to see a chiropractor. Do they work on Saturdays? I jumped. Vic, you saw that?
I did.
Marita, we're going to hear more from Marita. He's the student athlete as well. We're recognizing for Jackson this week.
Well, he's making his recognition known athletically here, first of all.
Right. I mean, that kid can take crayons into the classroom for all I care after I saw that. That was nasty.
He might take your crayons in the classroom.
You can have them.
2nd and 7. Now Johnston will look to throw. Wants to air it out. Looking for Sammy Harris, and he airmails that one.
Did not give Sammy a chance to catch it, Jim. Nope. Threw it a little too far. And you saw there were 2 or 3 defenders around Sammy Harris. They are very aware of number 4.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 7.
The success has been on the ground, Vic, and a lot of it between the tackles.
Yeah, they've got a lot of space to work with there. You know, like I said, this 3-4, this is a nightmare to play this type of offense. This pistol stuff is designed to just gash that type of defense.
Now they'll bunch the formation tightly to the bottom of the screen. Johnston rolls that way. Strong arms it to the near side off the hands of Harris.
I think the receiver fell down and got back up. He's still trying to make a play on it, but the timing was off there.
Yep. And again, this is a one route pretty much. He's looking for Sammy Harris the whole way. That they're rolling that way. He's not going to twist his body and go the other way. Harris was his one guy on it. When he slips, the play's about over.
Dead. Yep.
You mentioned it earlier, Dan, about in the pregame about the I mean, how about a sophomore quarterback? 30 touchdowns this year, 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
I mean,
8 more on the ground.
Wow. And
you know, he's a sophomore, but he's saying, you got to deal with me.
Brandon Lang will stand at the 10. Now, Alexander Theodore is on to punt. He's just trying to pooch it to the far side. Lang calls for a fair catch, but lets it bounce, and it's going to roll down to the 6-yard line. Field position is going to be important in a game like this. You don't see the Toros punt all that often from their 34, from the opponent's 34, the plus 34. And
right.
They do it there. See Darian Filan, just a junior, number 57, 285 there.
I mean, Jackson resembles LSU at the uniforms, and then some of their personnel resemble LSU.
Yeah, they got big Ray Worthy there, right guard, 6'2", 320. I bet he'll make a hole or two.
Jordan will take the snap from the 1. Wants to keep it, feels pressure, able to get away from that, and then cuts it back to the inside, out to about the 11-yard line. He's able to get away from Williamson with the initial pressure.
Now, that time he looked pretty healthy there and trying to spin away from that tackle there. Maybe it's just a straight line running. He's probably able to do 100%.
Probably not going to snap another one. They won't. They will go to the end of the first quarter, a 3-0 game between the number 1 ranked Spanish Fort Toros and Jackson, ranked number 2. It's a quarterfinal matchup tonight here on the Hill.
And 1 quarter in the books.
Hey, all season long, they've been here for us. Been there for you, too, all over Mobile, Baldwin County, outlying areas. Whataburger, thanks to their partnership for bringing us high school football all season long. We got one more after this week.
Yes,
That's
we
it.
do.
That's it.
Sad.
It is.
But all good things must come to an end.
What's going to happen to one of these teams tonight? Is that Jackson? Look how deep they are over there on the far sideline.
Yeah.
Nobody's at the hunting camp tonight, huh?
No, but I tell you what, they were getting ready because the Jackson folks were visiting the Bass Pro Shop in Spanish Fort in droves.
I'll bet.
Here today, coming down.
That register was ringing.
No doubt. First play, the second quarter. And Jordan, the ball came loose at the end of that play.
Slip out of bounds.
Stayed in bounds. That ball came loose. And you can follow us this week and next week on Facebook. Search UTV High School, UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week. Check us out on Facebook. Third and about 2. Anthony Fox split to the bottom of the screen. Gilmore with him as well. 2 more up top. Morris wants to keep it, and he does, and he's got a first down, and he's out across the 30 to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, straight ahead, that knee looks pretty good. It's just redirecting it caused him a little bit of problem, but right there, looks like he was about to bust it free.
21 yards for Matthew Jordan, Pat Greenwood.
And in part because of that Jackson offensive line. I spent some time on the Jackson sideline just a second ago, and they were going over with the offense blocking schemes. They seemed to be a little confused the previous possession, and boy, he had a hole that time, didn't he?
He shot through it, too.
Up to the 34. Coaches were praising the toughness and work ethic. We'll talk a little bit about that. Matthew Jordan, Georgia Tech commit, fires this one over the middle. Another heater, and it's complete to Poe, and it's out to the 49-yard line.
You know, you got a really good player in Jordan, a little banged up tonight, but you've also got some weapons, man. He's got some kids around him. He is very comfortable throwing it to. I don't think Spanish Fort has seen a team like this this year.
I agree. That was Gilmore with the reception, his 39th of the year. He had 7 touchdowns coming into the season.
Matthew Jordan he's almost gotten to legend status, and he hasn't left the school yet.
He's going to leave early, though.
Yeah.
Well, he's adding to his legendary status now.
It's in the Spanish Fort territory. You know, he's going to Georgia Tech, and he's going early. He's a 4.0 student. He's going to go early in January, and the coaches were telling us about this summer. He had to take 1 class in summer school to be able to graduate early and go up to Georgia Tech, as you see the replay there. And he was in the workout room every morning at 5:30. The weightlifting coaches would come in at 7, and he'd be giving them the, hey, coach, he's already done showered, on his way to class every day in the summer.
Yep.
Never missed a day, and just a special young man from Jackson.
You know, that says so much about the young man.
Yep.
Summertime for teenagers is supposed to be
Fun time.
Yeah.
To the far sideline, quick reception and a first down to the 34-yard line.
And
Antonio Fox with the spot.
I think what that says is working out, preparing, and getting ready to Matthew Jordan. That is fun.
Yep.
Sure.
He loves it.
Yeah, you always want your quarterback to be a gym rat. Sounds like he's the epitome of it.
And a tough kid. He just talked about his toughness, and coaches were just saying, we've just never been around a more hard-working high school football player than that young man right there.
And it's paying off.
Down to the 34. Gives it off, and Hollywood is stopped immediately that time. Jarrell Foreman ran into the middle of that Toro defense and nowhere to go.
Yeah, they're pretty stout in the middle there for the Spanish Fort side of the ball. Other than when you try to do a little misdirection stuff on them, you come straight at them, normally they're going to meet you right there front and center and say hello.
Pickup of 1. Jordan drops back, has some time. Now he's going to scramble. Floats it out on the far side, able to get it complete to Hunt. Hunt makes a move, and he's got a first down for the Aggies to about the 15.
Yeah, you could tackle him and then wish you had it.
Yeah, Deshaun Hunt was that kid we were looking at pregame.
Yeah.
And we figured out what he plays. You know, he didn't have his jersey on. But it looks like to me he's an athletic slate right there.
6'2", 220 senior.
Wants the football and then wants to do something with it once he receives it.
Yeah. These kids in Jackson remind me a lot of the players at Spanish Fort. They just are hungry to play the game.
Sure. Well, the coach said, what else to do in Jackson?
He did tell us that.
I said, well, you don't play baseball? Well, a little bit.
Yeah. Morris gets a couple. Second down for the Aggies.
And I'll tell you my other impression of Matthew Jordan. He's kind of charismatic.
Yeah.
You know, the way he handles himself, all the stories we've heard about him, and then you watch him and you say, yeah, he fits exactly what they've been telling us.
Saw one of the news crews out there getting a tight shot of the knee brace on his knee, and he wasn't phased at all.
No.
Just kept throwing.
Yeah.
2nd and 8. Toros turn it up for a noise factor. Looking for the fade to Hunt, and it's overthrown. Second interception of the game for the Toros.
Boy, he was sitting on that thing.
Yeah, it was one of those plays where he was throwing it to a spot there, and the receiver actually hadn't even got his head around to find the football. But the defensive back, Eugene, definitely was.
Yeah, Eugene Leach with the interception. So as we said, just 8 interceptions all year for Matthew Jordan and 2 tonight. That one looked maybe a little miscommunication with.
Yeah, I don't know that the big receiver was the guy who was trying to get. They had the advantage size-wise, and it's funny, the defensive back was actually watching the quarterback the whole time, where the receiver was not.
Yeah, he just hadn't got his head around the receiver yet.
Johnston with the give, and for the first time tonight, we'll see Braxton Shable carry it out to the 27. Shable nearly 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, he's a churner right there, this guy.
Yeah, they're just going to have all kinds of space there in the middle there, because they're playing this 3-4, and as I said earlier, these linebackers are getting the lineman in their face 3 yards down the field before they can even get the word go.
2nd and short. Shable with a first down to the 36-point. Just Spanish Fort crowd is packed in. They got standing room, but the Jackson crowd, and the Jackson crowd standing all the way around their side, and they have actually, you can see purple jerseys even over on the Spanish Fort side. Look at that down in front of us.
They got to go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it is a huge, the Daphne Spanish Fort game here on ESPN a few years back on Labor Day, the biggest crowd they've had here, but this one's going to be rival in that one. Everybody just lined up here. What a great night of high school football. Shable slips a tackle, and he's up to the 47-yard line.
You know,
Jackson for the first down.
Jackson's defense, this is just what they do, and I just know they've been running this all year long, and it'd be hard to just adjust it for one football game, but yeah, they're just going to have problems stopping the inside runs, especially with all the misdirection and counters that they're doing with the football.
Allowing just 11 points a game.
And all that being said, they've only given up 3 tonight.
Yep. Shable to the left side, cuts it right at midfield and falls forward to the 48.
It's only 3 points on the board, but I'd be very interested to know the stat between the 20s, because I'm sure Spanish Fort has piled up quite a bit of rushing yardage. You know, they got Gavin Bryant I talked about at the top of the telecast. He looks like a good, tough kid in there, but you know, he's just having to entertain those linemen before he can get to the ball carrier.
3 receivers bunched up to the near side. Harris, Marion, and Petway, but instead they give it off again to Shable, and he's got another first down to the 38.
Yeah, these linebackers, you're right, Vic, they're so busy being engaged and trying to disengage a yard or 2 off the line of scrimmage that they can't make a play.
Just can't. No.
And that's obviously what Mark Freeman saw when he saw the tape on this team. Said, until they stop it, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
See if this is a hold here that brings this one back.
Yeah, normally you'd like to have the lineman entertaining the lineman so the linebackers could run and make tackles. Not tonight, not this situation. Not this defense, and this is the old defense I played in high school, and like I said, the evolution of the game has passed that defense by. This pistol offense is just going to be tough to contend and stop.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Unless they do that, stop themselves.
Yeah, I saw that called a couple times in the UMS game we did last week. And that's a killer, so that's going to bring it all the way up to 2nd and 15. Harris, Marion, and Petway to the bottom of the screen. They'll look for Sammy Harris. He's got single coverage and a step, and he's got it inside the 20. Able to beat Jarrell Marita.
Yeah, Coach Freeman's got this defense right where he wants them. You know, that time they were creeped up in the hole as if they were expecting to run, and then he throws a pass and just runs by him in the back there and catches a long, deep pass, kick the sticks. Big, long first down.
Pat Greenwood.
Baumgartner stopped just for a half second. That little step, all the difference in the world there, guys.
Johnston wants to keep it a big hole right up the middle. Touchdown, Toros.
Now, on that particular play, Sam Druno pancaked our guy, Gavin Bryant.
Wow.
Quarterback just ran off his butt.
Yep. Ninth rushing touchdown for Johnston. We saw one just like this early in the season here.
Yeah,
we saw it on the highlight package.
Look at that. And he got some good blocks downfield even. This is a team that executes so well, and they are showing just how they do it to Jackson tonight.
Alexander Theodore with the PAT, and it's 10-0 Toros. Impressive drive there led by the sophomore quarterback Tyler Johnson. He caps it off with a TD run, and his team on top 10-0. Toro crowd happy right now, 10-0. They're on top. 2 interceptions. They take and get a touchdown off that turnover.
Yep, that turnover, that's a long way to go. They had to go 80 yards. That turnover's in the end zone.
And Theodore sends this one to the end zone as well.
Tell you what the equalizer might be if you're Jackson right now, because obviously unless they change some things defensively, Vic pointed out they may have some real trouble between the tackles all night long, but they're going to see that, maybe make some changes. I think offensively, with the kid a little hobbled up, Matthew Jordan, they still got the ability to quick strike plays, big plays, long plays with this talented group. Let's see if he starts to operate a little bit more, in the air.
Yeah, get it to Deshaun Hunt. Let him make some yardage in chunks.
Yeah, Kurt Polinitz starts early there, and it's 2nd and 15. So you get in a game like this if you're Jackson. You've only really been in one close game all year. As you see the scoring drive, you won week 1, 21-20. Other than that, you hadn't been in a close game all season. 7 plays, 80 yards in the touchdown drive there.
They've got some players. I just think that. Again, with this guy running the show, they've got the opportunity to make some big plays. They may have to.
Matthew Jordan looking to throw to the near side, fires it out, and that's high and incomplete. Goes off the hands of Marcus Gilmore. And again, they had a close game against Saraland. It was close for a while, but then they pulled away and won that one 42-17. But Jackson's been so good that just dominated teams, much like Spanish Fort has.
Yeah, they played 6A Foley at Foley. From Jackson, what is that, a 9-hour drive?
8.5.
But they went down there at a good 6A team that was getting it together because they had a good second end of the year.
Yep.
And they beat them by 17-21 down there. Yeah.
Something like that. 2nd and 15. Morris fakes and then comes over the middle. He's got Deshaun Hunt. He's got a first down.
You can see the sophistication of Danny Powell, his offense, his play calling, and then you've got a guy with that ability at quarterback.
Yeah, just ran Deshaun out of the backfield there. The linebacker was coming in on a blitz on that side, didn't carry that back, and he's wide open right there.
I'll tell you what, Jordan's got good vision, too. He knows what he's doing. He knows who is where. Hey, that's why he's going to check, and that's why it's a 4.0.
He'll pull it down. Runs again, and he's going to pick up 9.5 on this one. It'll bring up 2nd and short. Time for our trivia question. Hey, in 1921, we all remember that, Jackson played Camden and set a school record for the most combined points in a game at 102. They also set a record for the largest margin of victory in a game. What was the final score? Was it 58-54? I'm going to go ahead and say no, because I think that'd be 112 at that point. No? Yeah, that'd be right. Anyway, Jordan on 2nd and short. He'll scramble. He's got the first down. and runs out of bounds into Toro territory.
I love Jordan.
Oh,
I love this kid, and I wish he was a 100%. He's not, but he's still.
Well, I
pretty
tell you
darn
what,
good
his
at it.
80 looks better than a few at 100, right?
Yeah, I just love him. Love everything about him, the way he carries himself.
there's Danny Powell, 36-2 here. And Jackson 21-0 in the region, has never lost a region game.
He had Clint Mosley at quarterback, all-state performer when he was at Leroy.
4 state championships in 5 years at Leroy. Complete to Sean Hunt again, and he steps out of bounds at about the 43.
Now, that's one kid I like right there on their offense there.
Yeah.
I think he is just athletic. Good, big, strong kid there, 6'2", 220.
He's a mismatch every time you snap it.
Sure,
You know?
sure.
Coach Powell done such a great job up there. Just, we were talking to some of the other coaches. Said, what is it about Coach Powell? He said he gets his kids to execute, gets them to want to play hard for him, gets them to execute and buy into the whole team concept. This may be not what you want to do, but this is what the team needs you to do.
Right.
And they do it for him. All kinds of time. Jordan scrambles again, and he'll have the first down to the 36.
How about that poise?
I was just going to say, that was the word, poise. That's that leg brace. He's kind of checking.
Yeah, he just sits there with the football. Okay, nothing's there. I'll take care of this. We'll kick the sticks and we'll get a first down.
And it was the 5th play of the game last week. And he went down, and the numbers he's put up, kind of like Tyler Johnson on the other side. These young men don't play a lot from the middle of the 3rd quarter on to the 4th quarter because they've been in such big wins all season.
Sure.
Jordan bounced to the outside and lost his footing on the cut back there at the 35. Something to keep an eye on, that you alluded to, Dan, just see how that knee holds up as the game goes on.
If it's 80% pregame, you know, I doubt it's going to be 90% when you're done.
Yeah, it usually goes down. Huh?
Yeah.
In the other direction. It's over there. Coach Powell gives him the instructions face to face. You see Coach Powell over there in shorts and a golf shirt. The temperature is a little bit warmer that you would expect at this time of the year. So the body has to, adjust back to the heat again.
Sure.
You got into the cold.
Yeah, they're going to take a timeout here. They're a little slow getting that one.
Doesn't feel like football weather tonight down
but
here
it does.
in South Mobile.
But it does feel just fine, Big Buck. We'll take a timeout. 2:51 to go in the second. The Toros on top. It's numbers 1 and 2 in round 3 here on UTV 44. More of our friends bringing high school football all season long. Hey, thanks to Paige Clash. I know he's up watching Dadeville tonight. Is his son playing for UMS, and thanks to Greers. And here we go. This one intercepted, 3rd pick of the night as it was thrown behind the intended receiver and all the way up the near side of the 28-yard line before being hauled down is John Campbell, the linebacker.
Well, when we used to play and you get an interception, the defensive coaches used to tell us everybody blocked the quarterback. There's the example why right there. You talk about he didn't see the defender there, but Matthew Jordan right there, he said, you're not going to get a pick six on me.
Not every quarterback runs like this kid, or is as competitive as this kid. Now he throws the pick.
He's got a knee brace on, and he's not used to wearing one.
Right.
He's got a bad wheel.
But a big turnaround here because it was looking like Jackson was going to have a shot to,
Little teachable moment there for Coach Powell.
Now the defense has got to make an adjustment.
They come back with Howard. Michael Howard to the 22. Boy, 3 picks in the first half. The Spanish Fort defense, and I think we were talking with some of the Jackson coaches before the game, and they said, hey, everybody talks about how great they are offensively, the Toros, and they certainly are, but he said, they're just as good defensively as they are offensively.
They're great. They're great defensively.
Well-rounded football team. How about that? Let's just sum it up like that.
There's no level on that defense that is bad.
In a rebuilding year, a lot of people thought. Howard will take it on 2nd down. It's hit at the 19 and falls forward as Brandon Lang, the safety, came up to make the stop.
Yeah, these safeties are having to come up there and field, just like we've been talking about. These linebackers are engaged back there. Then when they come free, they're just not able to make the tackle on the backs.
Yeah, those safeties come up. The guy that's going to notice that is Mark Freeman. You can look for something quick and over their heads.
Johnston going to keep it, takes a hit.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Gavin Bryant. Sticks his face in the ball carrier's chest.
He's going to be a little short, it appears, of the first down. So 4th down coming up. Now you start to think a little bit about here, the Toros. They can score late. They get the ball to start the 3rd quarter as well. It's a 10-0 lead. And on 4th and less than a yard, there's no hesitation from Mark Freeman.
Well, you're at home. You're already leading, and Jackson's offense hadn't showed a propensity to score. Why not?
Howard in the backfield. They bring in Hunter Wood, the blocking tight end as well. He lines up to the right. Johnston gives it off to Howard. And he's got a first down to the 15-yard line.
And he's already laid claim to all the real estate in the inside as well.
Yeah.
So he's got all the chips in his favor, Dan.
And I'll tell you, Hunter Wood almost tips off the play. When he comes in, they're going to run power, and more than, I'd say 90% of the time, you're going to run it behind Hunter Wood, another guy that the coaches at Jackson were praising. 89.
3 seconds. Johnston gives it off to Howard. Big hit inside the 10.
Yeah, but it's 6 yards down the field. Don't do any good for the defense there.
Toros will take their first timeout with 33 seconds left.
Take a look at it again here. Sit there and get a pop on the player right there.
And while we have
The Alabama High School Athletic Association Super 6 State Championships return to the University of Alabama's Bryant-Denny Stadium December 5th and 6th with 6 exciting football games over 2 days. Don't miss the action. Go to www.ahsaa.com and click on the Super 6 later this fall. Order tickets in advance, and you can save if you do that.
That's a fine football field they're going to be playing on up there in Tuscaloosa.
And you can see those games live on UTV 44. So 2nd and 4. 33 seconds left again. It is packed here in Spanish Fort.
And a few people are still trying to get in.
Yeah. And those only empty seats, you see that's where the band was. They're down ready to go.
There's fans in this booth.
2nd and 4, Johnston keeps it, cuts it back inside, stumbles and dives for the touchdown.
Well, he had his option there. I thought he should have pitched it, Dan?
Yeah, man, the pitch was wide open too, but he's an underrated athlete, isn't he?
Yeah.
A little quicker than you think. We think of him as being the guy that lays his shoulder down and knocks you back. Watch the moves here. I mean, he can't go wrong either way here, but he keeps it himself. Look at him keep his balance with his right arm.
Yeah, that was the deal. That was all him there. I can assure you Coach Freeman has said pitch it in the film room.
Theodore sends that one right at our camera, and it's 17-0 with 25 seconds left.
But I bet he's cheering as well that he made the touchdown.
Oh, yeah, he got it.
And, of course, as we said, now Jackson with just 25 seconds left in the Spanish Fort Toros will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they've been, quite frankly, just really hard to stop. You got to think that Jackson's going to consider some changes defensively. At least consider, and then offensively, this can't keep turning it over, handing it to Spanish Fort.
3 turnovers in the first half. I mean,
and don't forget about the turnover that wasn't. Also,
for the Toros.
Yeah, they ripped one free. They're going the other way. I'm not talking about Jackson, but the call was that the runner was down.
Theodore sends that one to the end zone.
It was a bang-bang play. There wasn't anything easy about making the call.
And the whistle may have blown. We couldn't really tell if the whistle had blown.
Yeah, I didn't hear the whistle till after till afterwards. But, you know, I wouldn't want to be down there trying to make that call.
6 plays, 27 yards, a little over 2 minutes, and Johnston his 2nd touchdown run of the night. Now your Matthew Jordan facing some adversity for probably the first time this season, except for the injury last week, but on the field adversity. And 4 receivers here for the Aggies, looking for a screen out of the backfield. They get it, and having trouble with his footing was Foreman, and that really slowed things up.
Yeah, he had a convoy in front of him, but he lost his foot in there, and when they were getting traction, that gave the defense time to get over there and tackle him before he can even get a gain.
Jackson takes a timeout with 6 seconds left. They have 1 left here in the first half. Look, Tyler Johnston there. 5 rushes, 43 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just a sophomore, and really, remember at the beginning of the year, you know, it was like Mark Freeman was kind of feeding him with a baby spoon, the offense, just you know, a little bit more each week. And he said he's learning, and he finally said, you know, around week 6 or 7, it really started to click for him. And
he's got the ability.
Yeah, you know, and I was thinking about this young man on the way over here. You know, you look at him, and you've seen him play 2 or 3 times, and it just didn't seem like something flashy that jumps off on the screen at you about him. But you go back and look at the stats, and you're like, what happened?
Yes, he did.
What did I miss?
Yeah.
Now, Antonio Fox was moving early, and that'll be 5-yard walk-off. Yeah, 30 throwing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Comes across flashy when you look at it on paper.
Yeah. Sure, and I'm sure Coach Freeman enjoys all the flash, and he's probably happy he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, he is. He gets to help build this kid's resume and career, and the kid's doing the same thing for Mark Freeman, isn't he?
And I'm not going to say build a dynasty. I'm going to say continue the dynasty.
It's going to be a different level dynasty. You step up to 6A next year.
That's the word.
But it's, you know, it's not, you know, it's not like the Spanish Fort team is, you know, you look at the 6A teams they've defeated past couple of years, and this year alone, Daphne, Fairhope.
Good ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coach Freeman's not staying up at night thinking about it. I can guarantee you that.
He's thinking about plays.
Jordan pulls it down. There's a flag, but Jordan goes up the far sidelines. And it was brought down at the 43-yard line, but a flag all the way back to the 13.
And that was thrown by the referee in the area of holding, and he's not going downfield, so time runs out on the clock.
Toros have already made it.
Holding, and they're going to decline it and going into halftime and discuss the strategy.
17-0 lead, and impressive for the Toros. As let's go down to Pat Greenwood. He's got head coach Mark Freeman. Patrick.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. All right, Coach, you know, maybe it's our fault. We don't talk about the defense enough. They're showing out tonight.
They played good all year, and this time of year they got to play good, you know. And our kids have come out. We've played good. We've executed. They want us to run the football. We got to run the football right now until they loosen up a little bit. But defense has played great. We had some big plays on defense. They pressed our end zone a couple times, picked one, and actually JD picked the last one really big and took the fade route. So, man, we're playing good.
So I got to imagine, though, that's going to be a heavy foot on the gas pedal second half.
It just depends what they do. I mean, we're going to do what we do, and right now they want us to run the football, so we're going to try to keep running it.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yes.
Coach Mark Freeman got to be happy with his team on top 17-0 at the half. They have the lead. When we come back, we will hear from the bands on our halftime show. It's round 3 of the playoffs here tonight in Spanish Fort. There you see the score. Number 1 team in 5A, the Spanish Fort Toros have the lead at the half, 17-0. They're taking on the number 2 ranked Jackson Aggies, and you can send it down on the field and enjoy Jackson's band here tonight from Spanish Fort. Time score here at Spanish Fort. It's 17-0 Toros on the Peaches and Clean halftime show. Locations both in Mobile and Baldwin County. And let's send it down to the field now and enjoy the Spanish Fort marching band here at the hat. Defending 5A champions looking to make it 22 straight wins, and they're off to a great start here tonight. They lead Jackson 17-0 in the Spanish Fort Toros. We talk a lot about that offense, but Art Freeman told Pat Greenwood coming off, boy, the defense is what's done it so far here tonight.
They've done it so far, and Matthew Jordan has had a rough half. The kid's
uncharacteristic.
Yeah, 8 picks all year. He's got 3 in the first half of this game. You can see his brilliance. You can see his talent, but he's thrown it to the other team too many times and set up Spanish Fort for some touchdowns.
Yeah, and how about Spanish Fort just taking what Jackson's given him from the defense, right, Dick?
They're by alignment, just Coach Freeman alluded to it, you know, just by alignment, they're telling them to run the football, and he's going to do that until they make an adjustment and stop him, because Jackson, you know, we said it's going to come down to defense. They've got to stop the run first.
3 interceptions in the first half, 1 on the first possession, and then this one late in the half that allowed the Toros to get behind their sophomore quarterback, Tyler Johnston. He took it in 2 different times. This was the first one. That put the Toros on top 10-0, and then right before the half here, eventually made it 17-0, and Johnston having a big night. He's got 18 yards on the first touchdown, 9 on the second. And they look at the stats here at the half. The Toros impressive thus far.
Yeah, and the middle of that field is just wide open. They're able to really engage the linebackers, as Riggs pointed out from the start, and kind of eliminate the ability of those linebackers, because the guards and tackles are on them too quick, and they're not able to make the plays.
Yeah, they're engaged with them already 3 yards down the field, and then to get off to and make a tackle is just not going to happen. And pistol offense is designed to defeat this 4-3 that they're playing.
Michael Howard having a big first half as well, as he's got 82 yards. The Spanish Fort just doing what Spanish Fort does.
Well, Spanish Fort is doing what Spanish Fort does in this way, Jim. Spanish Fort is going to do a lot of things, but when you give them something, they're going to take it, and that's what they've done.
And you should do that in any level of football.
Yeah.
Let's go down and bring back in Pat Greenwood. Patrick.
All right, guys, talked to Coach Powell coming out of the locker room. I said, Coach, how you doing? He goes, well, not very good right now. Let's just look at the scoreboard. You know, I asked him what he talked about with his players. He said, number 1, missed tackles. Number 2, obviously the interceptions. And he said they're going to have a better effort coming up here in the second half. And, you know, it's one of those things, without the interceptions, this is a pretty good ball game. They've been able to move up and down the field. They've got to get some breaks going their way. They got to make them happen early to get back in.
All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get ready for the start of the second half. Spanish Fort and Jackson, the Toros will get it, and they're on top by a score of 17-0. It's playoff time here on UTV 44. See the score there at 17-0 at the half, and Spanish Fort gets it. You know, talking to those Jackson coaches before the game, Dan, and the one thing they did allude to several times, Pat just brought it up, so we can't miss tackles. You just can't miss tackles against the Spanish Fort team. Otherwise, this is what happens.
Yeah, but also they're getting blocked to the point where those tackles are downfield a little bit, too. It's not as much missing tackles to me. It's just getting blocked off the line of scrimmage.
Sure.
And being engaged where they don't have a real shot.
Yeah, they have owned the line of scrimmage, and at the point of attack, Spanish Fort has took it to Jackson rather than Jackson taking it to them. And Jackson is not playing on Spanish Fort's side of the football. Spanish Fort is playing on Jackson's side of the football.
Yep. I think something big that you want to watch for this half, first of all, Jackson's got to get Spanish Fort's offense off the field, okay? And they better do that the first drive.
A few 3-and-outs, huh?
Yeah, you need that first one at least, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not a 3-and-out, at least get them to punt it. And but I think this Jackson team is capable in some spots, Jim, of making some big plays.
Sure.
Because Jordan can scare you, and he can kind of free up his receivers with his mobility. He did that one time where he looked like he was going to tuck it and run. Instead, he threw it. He's always looking downfield. To me, you have a quarterback that's aware. He's that aware, and then you've got these receivers that have worked with him. There's a shot at some big plays, but they better get them because they're down big.
And then when you have that opportunity, you can't turn it over. He's got to be careful where he placed that football, because the tip drill got him one time, and then just a bad play. He didn't see the defender, and they picked it off, almost scored a touchdown, but he saved that. So we're just going to have to sit back and see if they can make the adjustment, the Jackson boys versus these Spanish Fort boys.
And it's been a great crowd on both sides tonight, including all these folks down here from Jackson. Just a reminder that ethics, integrity, and respect are values important in our daily lives. All of these values are learned by participation in interscholastic athletic programs, and coaches should set a good example for players and fans. Participants should treat opponents with respect, and respect should be extended to contest officials. Fans should be fans and not fanatics. And this is a public service announcement from the Alabama High School Athletic Association, and those words certainly ring true.
Amen. There's enough violence between the white lines. Let's let it continue to stay out there. And it's pretty violent, because I'm telling you guys, Dan has jumped in my arms twice after a couple of licks here. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to hold him anymore. I'm going to let him hit the ground.
I mean, it's going to be a they were guessing maybe 8,000 to 10,000 people here. They said Jackson had bought up more than 2,500 tickets pre-sale for this game here, and it is not a seat to be had.
Cha-ching to Spanish Fort, huh?
Well, I mean, it's a little different in the playoffs. It's how they spread the gate around, but it's quite an impressive night we've got going on here in Spanish Fort. But there, old Petway for the Toros from the 1. Petway out across the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Good job by that defender there to shed the block and go in there and make a tackle. 27.
We were standing down the field at 5:15, Dan, and we were just kind of looking up, and the crowd was feeling it. I mean, you could feel it. You could feel it then.
Yeah.
Jackson, say one thing. It's not a Dodger crowd over there. They're early.
Another thing about them, their team's down 17 at the half. When their team reemerged from the locker room, standing ovation on the Jackson side. So they're still behind their team.
Looks like a little bit of an adjustment here. They've got those 2 outside backers up there on the line of scrimmage.
They'll give it to Howard, and he'll get out to about the 24-yard line. He'll pick up 2.
First play, it does pay off dividends. They're not able to just have all that real estate in the middle of the field, and big Gavin Bryant in the middle of the field at a Tennessee commit makes a tackle.
And again, whatever this team does, Spanish Fort, schematically, they're going to have an answer. So we'll just have to see how this thing plays out.
You can see that there. Mark Freeman bringing Howard.
No safeties deep. They're in that zero coverage.
Johnston looking to throw, has time. Looking for guess who? Sammy Harris. But he can't hold on.
Well, they had what they wanted, and as Coach Freeman said, we're going to see what they want us to do. Well, they want us to run the football or pass the football. They were in zero coverage, man-to-man across the board. He takes a shot down the field.
Morita is there. Looked like there might have been a little contact early.
Contact late. Yeah, I see
before
what
the ball
saying.
got there.
Yep.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 8.
You know, I don't know what Harris's 40-yard time is, but he gets past people.
He's a football player.
He's a football player.
Here we go. Johnston rolls out, get a flag. Wanted to throw it to the big tight end Wood. Instead, he'll pull it down to the 30. Up near the 35. He will have the first down, but there's a flag. And that's coming back. Illegal shift against the Toros.
Boy, what an effort, though, by Johnston, the sophomore.
Yeah, he didn't have what he wanted because there was a host of Aggies back there surrounding all the receivers. So he decided to pull it down, and I think it was a good decision.
The Aggies are they're gonna do a little more selling out and giving Spanish Fort a shot at big plays, but saying you're not just gonna move the chains.
By the offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You know, move the chains without any resistance, and I think at this point probably a good adjustment. Now it could burn him with a big play, but at the same time, Spanish Fort has owned the first half on the ground.
For the penalty, 3rd and 13 for the Toros. Toros did not have a lot of 3rd and longs in that first half either.
Look for Jackson to bring some pressure too in passing downs. Try to make it very uncomfortable for Johnston.
Johnston looking to go up top. He looks the far side for Cotton, and he's got it into Aggie territory. Christian Cotton with his first catch of the night.
It's a long throw, Big Lockett.
Yeah, he put it up there, and, you know, that's the sneaky thing about this quarterback. You know, you go back and look at the stats, and he's thrown for a ton of yards. He's ran for a ton of yards, and every now and again, he just pops a play like that.
Those are the plays that are going to be available now.
Yeah, threw it up.
Pick your poison, Jim.
Behind the corner there and allowed the receiver to go back to make the catch. And so 3rd and 13, they convert all the way up to the 42. 41-yard pickup. Now Johnston wants some more, and he's got it a first down inside the 30.
He always wants some more.
Well, there was somebody in there that didn't want anything to do with him there and could have made the tackle. You take a look at the screen there. Be right in the middle of your screen, just right there. He says, okay, we're playing flag, but tell you what, Tyler Johnson isn't playing flag football.
You're right.
He's going for the rings.
Lang looked like he was just trying to come up and strip that ball loose. First and 10 from the Toros. Johnston now going to be hit and dropped for the first time tonight. First sack we've seen for the Toros here tonight.
Nice play there. They are known for rushing the passer there, and that's a big play there out of 58.
Yeah, that's Kadarius Hunt. Brings it all the way back to the 33-yard line. Second and about 17 for the Toros. Give it off to Darrell Petway. Petway up the right side, breaks a tackle, and he's pushed out of bounds and then slung down late. That's going to be another 15. It'll be half the distance to the goal.
Yeah. All right. You know, Coach Freeman said you're going to take away the middle. Hey, I've got some jet sweeps. I'll get you on the end.
And again, I'll tell you what, Coach Powell, he talked about not very sound tackling. We've seen a little bit of that here in the second half. Again on that play. Excellent blocking, though, by the Toros. They just clear out the right side.
They had a seal here and a seal there, and all it was green space for that young man to run through there.
Yeah, Petway there, and that was Gavin Bryant with the extra penalty there at the end. A little frustration on his part.
Again, Spanish Fort is going to have an answer for whatever you dial up defensively.
He had him pinned down 3rd and 13. They let him convert for 41, and now Toros on top of.
Well, Spanish Fort don't need any help in the penalty area for sure. So.
They also give Jackson a sideline warning.
So that's 2 infractions on 1 play. So they certainly don't need any help from the Zebras on this. They're winning it between the lines.
Johnston on the right side, in untouched for his 3rd touchdown of the evening.
Yeah, at the point of attack there again, Dan, you see it just wasn't even contested at all. They just put a hat on a hat and just cleared the way for him to pave his way there. And he didn't get touched till he touches a defender himself.
I don't know that people have been walking into the end zone against this Jackson team at all this year.
I agree. They bring in Ronald Smith, the safety, who we've seen make the big hits to be a lead blocker, and he didn't even get a chance to tee off on anybody.
Yeah.
Theodore misses the extra point, so it's 23-0.
Hopefully he missed my car.
23-0 our score, 9:14 to go in the 3rd. 3 touchdowns on the ground tonight for Tyler Johnston. Theodore with a high kick, and again it goes into the end zone. Alexander Theodore, you know, just another weapon that the Toros have.
And I think he is a weapon, because I think in this case Jackson's got some guys that can make some noise returning it. They're standing right at the goal line waiting for that opportunity, but each time the kick is a little bit too far, so they've got to start out every time at the 20-yard line. Now, like Matthew Jordan has ever been in this position before, down 23 on the road, they're going to go 4 wide and see if the kid can throw them back into this game.
Well, they've never given up this many points all season. It's the most they've given up. Gave up 21 to Demopolis early. Jordan wants to fire it up the far sidelines, and he's got it complete to the 39-yard line to number 39, Deshaun Hunt.
Here's my point. With his mobility, with his arm, with these receivers, they can make big plays. They don't have to just get first downs little by little. This could bust the tackle. They can make a big play just like that, and I think that might be their mindset right now, Vic.
Well, they've got to do something, because if not, Spanish Fort is going to run away with the ring, and they're not even going to have a chance to compete, because do or die tonight. There is no tomorrow.
He's thrown 3 picks, but I would keep it in his hands.
Jordan to the right side, drops the shoulder and goes out of bounds.
everything about this kid.
I tell you what, the folks at Georgia Tech are probably saying, hey, easy, big fella. We don't need that shoulder. We don't necessarily want you doing that too often as our quarterback.
Wow.
And they run the option up there.
They do.
Campbell, he was upset with Campbell for that interception that he had in the first half. Yeah.
But he let you know right there, if you're going to come play with me, you better pack a lunch. Still a lot of fight in that young man.
I don't think you can get it out of him. Both these quarterbacks. Ornery.
2nd and 5. Jordan on the right side. He has a first down to about the 47.
Keep it in his hands, guys.
Well, it seems like you
got him to 12-0.
You text Danny Powell, and he's adhering to your text.
Well, it's not a stroke of brilliance. Kid's a really good player, very competitive. And, yeah, he's made some mistakes that have hurt them. But like Jim said, he got him to 12-0. That was him.
1st and 10 for the Aggies. Jordan rolls out. That one incomplete, goes off the hands of Gilmore.
A little bit hot on that pass there. He's sprinting out, trying to keep him out of harm's way in terms of getting a rush. Kind of ran that roll out there, and it says find a receiver, keep your shoulders square. He finds one, but a little bit too hot on it. Some hot sauce.
2nd and 10 here for the Aggies. You know, Jackson all-time 3-2 in quarterfinal games, 2-0 on the road. Never lost a quarterfinal game away from Jackson. Jordan, and just has nowhere to go. Huge penetration there by Brian Williams.
That time they slammed the door shut there. They've had their way a little bit in the middle with the big guy running it. But this time Spanish Fort rebuffs him.
Quite a rebuilding here for this defense. I'll tell you what, they are so aggressive.
Well, I think the foundation's set. You know, they're building upward off of that.
Really are.
Loss of 2.
They're going to have to hurry up and get this one off with the play clock at 5.
I don't think they're going to. Yeah, they're not going to get it out. They're going to have to take a timeout.
Yeah, they had a real long play call here, probably something special to pick up the first down. Took too long in the hole to explain to the guys.
3rd and 12 from the 49 with 7:27.
Got a good look at Danny Powell over there, imploring them to just dig deep. The game's not over. Plenty of time on the clock. Just got to put some drives together and have some success. Can't turn it over.
I want to thank our friends at C-Spire Wireless. They've been with us all year long, and boy, they've been with us at every game. Got the tent set up, throwing T-shirts into the crowd.
Yeah, it's an event to be at the game with that group here.
And also, I want to thank United Rentals. You can thank them on the screen. You can look down at about the 22-yard line here at Spanish Fort, and their logo is tattooed onto the grass here on the hill.
I thought they didn't allow tattoo parlors over here in Spanish Fort, Jim.
Dick.
They got him.
Dick. Just don't talk about them.
Okay, gotcha.
3rd and 12. Jordan gets this one off to Hunt. Deshaun Hunt takes a big lick from Hall, but stays on his feet, but gets to the 41-yard line. And you 4-down territory here with 7 minutes to go.
No doubt about it. And, I mean, they're on the other side of the 50. They've got to do this here down 24 because they really, quite frankly, Jim, they're not sure they can stop Spanish Fort at this point. You need the football.
Yeah, you're right. If you give it to Spanish Fort, it looks like they're coming away with points at this junction.
4th and 4. First opponents will come in there. Wide receiver 6'2". They got some big ones. They've got Hunt up to the top of the screen as well.
And substitution.
Broke the huddle.
Broke the huddle with 12. 4th and 4. Now 4th and 9.
Yeah, they were trying to get the correct personnel in.
Illegal substitution on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And that personnel didn't include a 12th guy, but just made a mistake there mentally.
It's kind of an organizational miscue right there.
Be as it may, still go for it and keep the offense on the field, Dan.
I think the score dictates that at this point, Rick. I think you got to believe that we can get these 9 yards. We can get 9 yards. We've got 9 yards anytime we want it all year. So let's see. Now this kid, that being said, he's also their punter, so he could pooch it.
4 wide. Jordan rolls out, sideline, incomplete. And the Toros hold.
They take over on downs. He was trying to do that sprint out again and going forward to the line of scrimmage to influence some DBs up, but they weren't going for it, and it was just off the receiver's hand there.
Yeah, you wonder, you roll out a little bit like that side, you're usually, throwing off that leg, and makes it a little extra tough for getting, and I know this will be old news by the time this game is aired, but some reports that Trey Williams has left the game and not expect to return in the second half for St. Paul's.
Ooh, that's not good news.
As they take on Saraland tonight.
Got a legal substitution or a timeout?
Looks like they get the timeout in.
Well, let's pray that young man's okay, and he's got a promising career after high school football. Trey Williams, that is, so hopefully he'll be okay.
Where's he committed to go?
He's going somewhere else right now. Right now. But, still a lot of time on the clock.
Auburn commits Trey Williams. Let's go down to Pat Greenwood. Pat.
It's been interesting watching the Spanish Fort offense tonight, guys. Usually they're that run and gun, no huddle type, as many plays as they can. They've actually taken the air out of the ball tonight because, as Coach told me at halftime, they're allowing the run, they're making them run the football, and now it's going to really play into their advantage because if Jackson's going to get back in this ball game, I don't know how many times Jackson's going to get the ball back.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I think Jackson's going to continue to force the issue, Pat. They're in zero safety help right now. They're up. Everybody's within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Headway wants to go on the double pass, fires it incomplete as he was trying to get it to Marion. Not really the double pass, just the handoff, and Petway wanted to fire it.
Yeah, those sort of plays are going to be there now because, again, the commitment to winning the line of scrimmage or at least taking it back a little bit by this Jackson team.
But they had that one pretty well covered.
Yeah, they weren't
shockingly.
fooled.
They read their keys and was where they should have gone then.
2nd and 10.
Now they have gotten smart and going to put a safety deep. This looks like a sound defense.
Johnston comes to Marion on the near side, and Marion to the 48-yard line. Kevin Marion, his first catch of the night. He's a good-looking junior receiver, 6'2", 200 pounds.
Is he the transfer kid?
He's a young guy that did play at McGill-Tulane.
Okay.
He's got an
athletic big kid.
Officials timeout as we've got a Chris Taylor, cornerback. Looks like he's just got a cramp on that.
Yeah, let's hope it is, and perhaps it's just a cramp, but like we talked about earlier, the temperature is a bit warm for this time of the year, and your body's gotten used to the cold weather and playing in that, then just like the subtropic humid climate will do, it'll switch back and forth on you, even in the winter months.
Left tackle has done a great job tonight. Ian, help me with that.
Yeah, Ian Bureau.
Bureau. Good bloodlines. His mom was a golfer at the University of Alabama. She is from Sweden, won the Swedish Open as a pro. Also, before she was a pro, won the amateur division of the Swedish Open.
Wow.
So,
tell you the tidbits that Dan can come up with.
Hey.
That's some great info.
There's some other ones I'd like you to share. I'm going to pick that one up as well.
Well, he's saving that for the book.
Shable checks into the backfield.
I know not what you speak.
On 3rd and 3 for the Toros. Johnston over the middle for Sammy Harris, who goes up and pulls it down for a first down. What a throw and what a catch.
I mean, Sammy Harris,
when he breaks the hole, doesn't look intimidating, does he?
No, he looks like the kid that you're looking him over and thinking, do I want this kid to cut my grass or not? Can he handle the job? What a player.
5'8", 165.
Yeah. What a great player. I had a chance to meet him during one of the 1st and 10 clubs, Jim, and I just told him, man, you're like a hero of mine. He just smiled.
So you would let him cut the grass?
Well, he probably would cut your grass and say, hey, keep the money. I'm just going to do it as a good Samaritan.
I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Shable. Inside the 25-yard line.
You know, that catch was better when you saw it the second time, the replay. Just how he had a stretch back athletically and make that play. You're talking about Sammy Harris, a guy that runs great routes. He's got better speed than you think because he gets deep on a lot of people, and then just incredible ball skills.
Hey, Dan, how about your boy Matthew Jordan lining up out here at corner?
Wow. All hands on deck.
That's right. You're going to get your best 11 on the field. He's one of them for certain.
Hell yeah.
2nd and 7. Howard up the middle to the 18-yard line.
Close.
Pat Greenwood.
Hey, Vic, you spotted it about the same time I did. I was scrambling for my depth chart to see if maybe he did play both ways, and I never spotted it. But now you're going to take him off the field at this point. But, yeah, you're right. All hands on deck for those guys right now.
Yeah, you usually want to get your best 11 on the football field. Hey,
3rd and very short. Howard takes it on the far side, and he has the first down to the 13-yard line.
And you got to wrap up. 2 guys had an opportunity to make the play there. They just didn't wrap up. Coincidentally, there is a first down. Toros.
Spanish Fort wants it a little more, don't they?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Especially you get to this time of the game where you know they're ready to put this one away and move on to the semis. Howard in the backfield. He'll shift to the far side. Johnston wants to keep it, and he got leveled in the backfield. That was Bryant, the Tennessee commit, coming in to make the stop. Officials call a timeout as Johnston.
Ooh. He's grabbing that left leg.
Also saw his head kind of hit the ground violently, too, so let's hope he can get a drink of water and get back out there and compete. Had a great game thus far.
Well, that's the exact correct verb to use when you're talking about so many of these Spanish Fort players. But, Vic, they compete.
That's right.
He looks like he's walking better already, actually.
So he's going to take the helmet off and see what the Toros decide to do. Maybe just go a little wildcat here. Maybe bring in Therese Brown, the sophomore. Brown going to keep it. Brown try to get to the outside. It'll be hit and drop back at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go upfield, north and south, but he elects to use his speed and try to get outside. But this time the Aggies were laying for him out there. Wrapped him up there and gang tackle.
That was Lang, the safety.
I guarantee you, Johnston would have stuck his nose in.
Yeah, no doubt
He's
about
a much bigger guy, but
No doubt about
we
it.
would have gotten some positive yardage on that play by simply sticking that foot in the ground and going right at Jackson on that play.
Now I'm going to bring Ladero Petway in at quarterback.
And then they're going to have to get a timeout.
Yeah, they did not have the right package in there. Pat Greenwood.
Well, I'm standing just a couple of yards away from Johnson. He is, I don't want to say refused medical treatment, but he hasn't come back to the bench or anything like that, standing with one of the trainers, but he's been stretching his legs. Helmet is still off, but doesn't appear to be anything too serious, making sure his calves are stretched out on each side. So hopefully it was just maybe a cramp or just got dinged a little bit.
Well, that's hopefully good news there for the Toros. You see Johnson, he's had the big night so far here tonight. And now on 3rd and 10 with 2:25 left, and the Toros did not expect them to put it in the air here. You can also bring Matt Hall over from linebacker if they need to play quarterback.
Yeah, Matt Hall was the guy that a couple of years ago when Freeman first came to town was actually competing against Joe Poe for the quarterback position.
Well, on the depth chart, that is who the backup is, isn't it?
There he is, number 7.
He's got his helmet on. Coach Freeman knows he's got a few options here with a nice cushion of a lead here, so he'll just make his choice and go with it from there. He does
Hall.
go in.
Yeah. It looks like he's going in to block.
Yeah, they put him in at tight end, and they keep Petway at quarterback, and they'll go that way. Petway with a lot of speed inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, he lost the football out of bounds there. Luckily, it did bounce out for him.
You Kick it here with Theodore, 4th and 4.
Put you up by 26.
You're up by 26, and he would leave Jackson with a long field.
Yeah, at 23, you're still a 3-score game.
23, I'm sorry, yeah.
Technically, well, if they don't get it, so it would be a 3-score game. You get the field goal here, and it makes it 4 scores. This would be 27-yard attempt, low snap. And that one goes off the scoreboard and wide to the far side. And we'll keep it at 23-0, and now Jackson will get it back, but they're in a big hole late in the third, and we're also in the third round of the playoffs here on UTV 44. So, we've seen a lot of games here in Spanish Fort where they could have blown the scoreboard out, but tonight, after that kick by Joel Poe went off it, it's scoreboard, or by, how about the look I just got from Dan Brennan? I wish y'all could have seen that.
Make sure that you knew when, Joe.
Alexander Theodore. And
well, we've been calling both those names for years, right?
And so the scoreboard just totally goes.
Yeah, we hit a fuse there with the kick, so the refs, I assume, going to have to keep time on the field.
There's 2:25, I believe, left in the third. Danny Powell. He's been in a few big games over his great career. This is, again, the most points they've given up all season. So, yeah, they're going to have to.
I bet Coach Freeman is probably lobbying that it's already the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it didn't go out immediately when the ball hit. It was a few seconds after that, right?
Yeah.
Kind of delayed reaction.
Yeah.
Seconds in the third quarter.
Well, we got 2:15 is what he says.
2:15, all right. Vic, if he could keep the running clock over there, that would help us immensely in the booth.
Yeah, we'll get out of here quick and you can open the cellar up.
Oh, it's open. So 1st and 10 for the Aggies. Matthew Jordan, like he wanted the screen and he tried to cut it back, and as he tried to get to John Williamson there, he had nowhere to go, and you kind of saw the footing just go out from underneath him.
We'll give that zone blitz credit to Brian Williams, the nose guard, stepped back in coverage and got in front of the intended receiver to stop him out. So he didn't even get an opportunity to throw it to him.
Coaching right there, right, Big Locker?
Oh, yeah, that was a good job by Coach Freeman and his group. And this is what we see every time we come over here and watch these guys. Great execution, defensively and offensively and special teams.
Loss of 4, so 2nd and 14. Jordan on the far side, able to get that one off complete. That's Polinitz with the catch. He steps out of bounds at the 20.
Nice little zip on that pass.
Yeah, I was going to say, his ball gets there in a hurry, doesn't it?
A big old strong kid like that, it's just what you expect.
Coach Powell got mixed up over there in that one.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to mix it up a lot more than that, but his days are long since over.
The scoreboard back on here with just a minute 21 left in the third. And all Toros here in a big third down for the Aggies.
Aggies need this one big time.
Badly. Third and a long 3. Jordan rolls out. He's going to keep it the whole way. Dropped his shoulder, and he's going to have the first down.
I'll tell you what, though, after talking with some of the Aggie fans, Aggie coaches, I'd say us doing a game at Jackson got to be on our bucket list now.
I mean, like a Jackson-Thomasville matchup, or something like that, or a Spanish Fort Jackson game up there.
We'll see how everything, shakes out with regions and such next year.
Classifications.
Yeah, right.
It'd be fun. We've done we've done some games up some of the outlying places. Have been some of our
fondest memories.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, they've got my vote if I can get some deer sausage out of the deal.
Matthew Jordan, wow, throws that one against his body, and he's got Deshaun Hunt for a first down.
Hunt is such an athlete after he catches
he's a good player. He's a good little player, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up on some college roster somewhere and maybe even take it to the next level after that.
Yeah,
he's got some fight in him.
You know, he's probably getting under-recruited, be my guess, just because of the fact this is his first year at receiver. From our understanding that he was an outside linebacker.
Yep, and you could so picture him. You can see how he played over there.
Man.
Well, he was over there a couple of times tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You notice it?
Yes.
Jordan, nowhere to go, pulls it down. Now looking, fires it off. He's able to get it to Gilmore, who gets lit up as he catches it at the 39-yard line. As soon as he made the catch, Ronald Smith, as he does every game on TV, comes over and makes the big hit.
11 has bad intentions, y'all.
I'll tell you what, they don't allow tattoo parlors, but this right here is a tattoo right there.
Wow.
I'll tell you that. He'll feel it tomorrow.
And wrapped up, too, Vic Lockett.
No doubt about it.
But this is where Jordan can make plays, buying time, and where are his eyes? Always downfield.
Plate, less than 5 seconds to go here in the third. Jordan will get off, and he'll keep it on first down. And he's going to be hit, stood up, and then body slammed back. Thomas Johnston, the freshman who may occasionally have a bad intention as well over there on that side of the ball.
A lot of guys in black, too.
We're through 3. The Toros 12 minutes away from running their winning streak to 22 and moving on to the semis. Fourth quarter comes up right after this. Through 3 as we get ready. I want to thank the Orthopedic Group. Experience, excellence, trust season long. And Peaches and Clean. Powerful carpet cleaning on both sides of the bay, bringing you our halftime show all year. And our friends at Caligas Printing. They've been a long-time supporter of high school football here on UTV 44. 2nd and 10 for the Aggies as we start the fourth. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Pat Greenwood on the sidelines. Jordan, high spiral to the corner, and it's hauled incomplete.
Yeah, he ran the go route over there all the way, and he just didn't go up there and pull it down. Had it in his hands. You thought he had it.
Antonio Fox.
The last minute, he lost it.
Yeah, couldn't tell. This one a high spiral. Slipped through his hands, and then Eugene Leach, who has one of the interceptions tonight, was there. And a 3rd and 10 from the 39. Jordan tonight, 3 interceptions and no touchdowns. Now they'll snap it to the sophomore, and they throw it back to Jordan. And Jordan got hit, and he's going to be stopped short as they brought in DeMarcus Williams, the sophomore, snapped it to him, threw it back to Jordan.
I'll tell you what, Ronald Smith back there patrolling the area.
He is something, man. He's the answer back deep.
He came up there and put his face mask right in his face.
DeMarcus Williams, a sophomore, he came in and played really well at quarterback last week, threw for a touchdown, ran for 1. And they're going to put him at quarterback and put Jordan split out to the left.
You know, that says a whole lot about what do they think about Jordan. It's just being an athlete playing all over the field.
DeMarcus Williams looking to throw over the middle. That one incomplete, too high. And another 4th down stop by the Toro defense.
Yeah, you can credit John Campbell, too. The linebacker came late on a blitz, and he got in the young sophomore's face. It was just 32, actually. Thompson, Matthew Thompson.
Let's go down to Pat Greenwood and get an update on Tyler Johnston.
Yeah, Tyler Johnston not on the field right now. Apparently into the 3rd quarter, they put him into the locker room. I understand that he was cramping, which is consistent with what we saw on the sidelines when he went out just a little while ago. And to be honest with you, up 23-0, if I'm Coach Freeman, I'll put some fluids in him, let him sit in there the rest of the way.
So the Toros with the 23-0 lead just early on in the 4th. They'll go with Javon Brown at
Looks like it's a delay of game.
QB. Indeed it is, so you're going to see a steady dose of Michael Howard and Braxton Schable, as you've seen throughout the game so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that especially with Johnston out of there, this is a chance. This is a chance, at least, for Jackson to slow this team down a little bit, but do they want it?
Well, they stopped him stopped them on 3rd down after Johnston went out and missed the field goal last time they had it.
Right. And they really needed that touchdown in the corner. That would have changed things right there.
Howard right up the middle, and Howard's got a big hole. Michael Howard inside the 30. Michael Howard out of bounds. Now he's in for the touchdown. 68 yards.
The safety had a lead on him. Actually, the cornerback had a good angle on him. But I tell you what, he just wasn't going to be denied there at the 2-yard line and said, I'm going to score this touchdown for my team.
You have to
put the nail in the coffin, I think, guys.
Backup quarterback in, and again, they gash him right up the middle when you can almost guess it that they're going to try to keep it on the ground.
Yeah, the official was a little slow on the, oh boy, he's out of bounds way back at the 4.
Yeah, he waited, but academic now.
Yeah.
Touchdown,
the kick is good.
4.
Yeah,
but definitely not by the replay. Just put it like that.
Hey, he's out of bounds. I mean, he's...
Yeah, the other angle shows it even better.
Out of bounds. At the,
you know, he was shielded
2.
by that player there being in his line of vision. So give him a break there that he wasn't able to make the correct call.
Well, it's all Toros.
Great effort still by that young man. No doubt about his effort.
And Howard over 1,300 yards this year.
That probably put him over 100 here tonight, right?
Absolutely. Over 150.
And he says, hey, give me that 50 cent too. 50.
50.
So the Toros have built it to 30-0, and now the Toros offside.
Well, I tell you what, they got reason to be offside. They should be excited. They got another opportunity next week to get better and get ready for our next team as it stays the way it is.
Sounds like we got a heck of a game. And again, I know it's a little dated when you hear this, but a heck of a game over Mobile. Saraland and St. Paul's tied at 7.
Who would have thought? Saraland, you on the block.
Yep.
Making some noise.
Only one loss on the year, and was to this Jackson team.
Coach Kelly.
42-17.
Former Southern Miss quarterback.
I saw him throw a touchdown-winning pass at the first ever Mobile Alabama Bowl, I believe it was back then. Finally a chance to return. Can somebody make a play?
This one tipped off the hands and a big hit delivered as Michael Phillips gets to about the 31-yard line.
I think it's like the way Ricky Bobby was raised. Talladega Nights. I think these Spanish Ford kids, they put him in a Buick with a Cougar or something like that. Isn't that what happened in that movie? And so it just toughens them up. They're ready to go. Football is nothing after that. These guys are coming off the bench just wailing people.
Well, and how about just everybody, a lot of people saying, Spanish Ford's going to be the rebuilding year. So they're taking, got a young quarterback. They're young all over the field.
Well, his #1 guy, of course, was Mark Freeman telling us that.
Right. And now they reverse and give it off to Deshaun Hunt. Hunt trying to get to the outside. And Hunt will, and Hunt inside the 50. Hunt down the sidelines. And he'll finally be brought down at the 23.
Yeah, that kid just got good instincts, huh, Dan?
Yeah, it's going to be big plays.
Well, you see Matthew Jordan really hobbling now to get back up to the line of scrimmage.
It's a shame to see that.
You see, he gets the reverse here, takes him inside, then back outside again, influencing his blockers. And here he just turns on the Jets, but good angle by the defender there to run him down.
But Jordan is really hampered at this point.
And this lineup in the backfield, they'll hand it off to him. This one all the way around the near side and nowhere to go there. Great penetration and pursuit again by John Williamson.
Yeah, I think he's going to be more effective going north and south, necessarily trying to get around the end.
Yeah, Jordan.
This is not what you want to see. He's giving it all he's got, but right here he's having to make a pit stop. Pray is nothing real serious. No, he came into the game with a knee injury. Said he's about 80%, and he's maybe down to his 5% level now.
Well, how fun would it have been to watch him play healthy all year?
No, I'm telling you, I think we really missed it. credit Spanish Fort. They have been spectacular tonight, but this guy just hasn't had, you know, all the parts necessary to play his game. And the thing about what we've seen just in glimpses is his game is pretty special.
Sure. Great sportsmanship by both football teams, taking a knee and respect to the injured. He's talking about that sportsmanship you see, you read about. Here it is being put into action by both of these teams here.
19 carries, 101 yards tonight, 12 of 20 passing for 134 yards with a 3 intercept. Boy, he's really laboring there.
That may be it for him, and the next stop, the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him healthy.
Oh, no doubt. And, you know, he, again, going to Georgia Tech and as excited academically as he is athletically, 4.0 student. And our best wishes to that young man. And I think the Jackson fans recognizing what he's done.
Giving him applause.
Marcus Williams fires this one out on the far side, able to get it to Gilmore, and Gilmore down to the 17. It's a warm night down there on the field. Huh, Pat Greenwood?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting with Matthew Jordan. You know, the thing was, it was the leg where his knee was hurt, and so that gave you a pause for a second, but just cramping on that end as well. But for him, for Johnson, what are the odds in November that you've got the two quarterbacks cramping up? But it is a little warm tonight. But, you know, look, long season. These guys' bodies have been through a whole lot by the time we get to this point in the season.
You were talking about the body readjusting, Vic. It doesn't have to be 88 now, right?
That's right. No, even just to jump back up into the 70s like this, you know, you have to factor it in.
3rd and 6 and Williams. Sophomore.
You know, you just get acclimated to playing in the cold weather. Then again, it's back up in the 70s and you're sweating and hot again, and the humidity, you know, which is the killer.
Fourth down.
To get back used to that.
How about this? This will be the 45th time this year that Jackson has gone for it on 4th down.
Wow.
They're 0 for 2 tonight.
That's a lot of confidence right there, because they've been rolling people. So it's not like desperation 4th downs, generally speaking.
They were 40% conversion on 4th down coming into tonight. Play clock down to 2. We'll have to hustle. Williams gets it off. Looking to throw. Comes to the near side. He's got it complete. And he's got a 1st down to the 5-yard line as Antonio Fox with the reception.
I think they're saying he was down.
Yeah, ball came out, but he was definitely down. Now he looks like he's hurt as they quickly calling the trainers out to check on this young man.
Good throw.
Marcus Williams in. Fox.
Oh,
yeah, boy, he went down awkwardly.
He got hit in the leg, and that leg is in pain.
Just not what you want to see with these kids. You know, out here playing good football, just competing to go on for a state ring. And
let's watch the replay here.
Right here, you can see just did not.
Oh, goodness.
Got a nice bend there.
Before the hit. Really.
And the hit on the knee as well.
Sportsmanship by both teams, taking a knee in respect to the injured. Dan talks about it every week, having good sportsmanship, and we certainly getting it here.
All right, we'll take a timeout while they tend to Antonio Fox. Well, they helping Antonio Fox, and that certainly didn't look good. They get him over to the sideline.
Yeah, send up some prayers for that young man and his family for sure.
1st and goal from the 5. And before the start.
I think it may be offsides on Spanish Fort.
Yeah.
This was not pretty here. Oh, just in a bad situation.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done looking at that. Just wish the kid well. Obviously, he was hurt.
Yeah, that's enough said there.
Yeah.
Down to the 2.5, and they'll bring Jordan Johnson In the lineup next to that young man, DeMarcus Williams. Williams going to run it to the right side, and he'll get in for the touchdown. Jackson on the board with 7:45 left.
Well, it keeps them from being on the goose egg side of things, and something for them to build on, but they're going to have to do it in a hurry.
You can see why they like this young man, and he's going to be the leader of their team offensively for the next couple of years.
Yeah, he looks good already. He's a young guy. Like you said, he led him to a playoff win last week.
Yep. So Albert Baumgartner will come on to try the point after. Brandon Christian to hold. And that one blocked. So it's 30-6 with 7:45 left.
Well, that says something there about the Spanish Fort team. They're still going to play, every down until the game is over.
Hey, we had our trivia question in the first half. Jackson, 1921, took on Camden. My buddy Marty Kennedy's hunting camp is up in Camden.
Yeah.
Record for the most combined points in a game, 102. Also a record for the largest margin of victory. What was the final score? You got any guesses?
Yeah, I do know the final score of that game. In fact, my older brother was at that game. And the final score, in fact, believe it or not, and you may not believe this, but it was actually 96-6.
Wrong. 102 to nothing.
Well, I was closer than anybody else.
So 100.
You had a great story going there too,
Yeah,
Dan.
I did. I just
Tommy Boy? Tommy Boy?
Tommy Boy,
Your,
yeah.
your brother Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
So 102-0. That was the final score. And also, I couldn't also say that they set a record for the most points scored in a game because they, largest.
Probably would have gave it away.
Yeah,
That's the rest of the story.
Yeah, so that was it. 102-0.
Now, in fairness,
and it was closer. It was closer than the score indicated.
Sure it was. And if memory serves me, Camden was in a rebuilding year.
They were.
Everybody knew that going in.
Did they get off the bus? That's all I want to know.
Get off the bus.
Now Jackson's going to try an onside kick right after they score, and they have a chance to recover, and it just scoots out of their reach.
Man.
Oh, they had a chance to get that.
They really did, and staff of Spanish Fort not too happy about that.
Brian Roch, the linebacker, that was kicked right at him. Wow, St. Paul's Saraland 7-7 headed to OT.
Wow.
Winner of that game.
Now that's a tussle.
Gets this one. That is a sure enough tussle. And so down to 7:45 left here, and we'll see what Coach Freeman does. He'll keep Javon Brown, the sophomore, in at quarterback, and Shea will line up with him, and Brown wanted to give it to him, and instead keeps it himself, and so he had to avoid a big hit to his head on the first one, and then the second one not so lucky.
Well, Shable looks shocked, like I thought I had the ball.
Or I was supposed to get it at least.
Right. Shable, a tough inside runner. They really haven't had to use him much tonight because of all of the success that they have had with Michael Howard.
You see Brown got one on that one, 2nd and 9. I think the Toros probably worked the play clock down.
Hunter's now to the right, 89. Look for him to go their way.
He's taking a peek at the play clock.
Take it, he gives it off to Shable. And there's Brian in to make the big hit there at the 50.
Yeah, those snaps are pretty high, and he's having to jump up there and get them, and that's been pretty typical every time I've seen this group. But they've had success in handling it.
Well, the snaps are high, and/or the quarterback is low, because where the starter's 6'2", Brown's only 5'9".
Sure, but the starter's been jumping up a couple of times as well.
Gotcha.
So it's, like I said, just good execution. They've been able to handle it. Hadn't seen one go over his head, either quarterback.
3rd and 9. Brown wants to throw it. Heaves it up, looking the near side, and it's intercepted at the 20, but there's a flag there.
Yeah, it looks like the ref wants to call some type of action between the DB and the receiver. Let's see which side he decides to go with.
Crosby looking for his 4th interception of the year.
It looked like two guys looking for the football, both with their heads turned back.
I agree.
I don't know that there was anything there.
And now Tyler Johnston going to come back in.
Oh, that's delightful.
This Brown.
You just see the replay there. Just two guys playing the football.
It looked like Cotton just fell down.
Boy, that's a tough call right there.
Let's see what he's going to say.
Tough call. Now, might call a hold downfield even before all that happened. Let's see.
There you go.
Defensive holding.
Holding. Okay. There was some of that going on the way
right on
down
the sideline. Right on the sideline.
Yeah. Holding on the defense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Penalty results in a first down.
Yeah, I can see that. Tough call, but probably was legit.
So Tyler Johnston back in as we approach the halfway point of quarter number 3. Excuse me, quarter number 4. The Toros up 30-6. Shable on the right side. It's going to have another first down to the 29.
Yeah, with all that success they were having early on between the tackles, I was thinking this guy could have a big night. And he's really kind of deferred most of the night to Howard, but he can do that sort of damage himself.
Johnston to Shable to the 25.
Hey, Shable's hitting it in there with some authority, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. I mean, all these Spanish Fort kids play at 110%.
Really do. Spanish Fort about to go 20-3 all time in the playoffs. Now, they're a young program, but you look at this. Wow, who's going to beat him? I mean,
we thought Jackson was the team that had the chance. The chance.
Well, a lot of people have been saying, the matchup going to come down to Muscle Shoals and Spanish Fort. They give it off to Shable. And they're trying to rip the football out, and Shable does a good job to hold on to it. You see some of the young men getting a little frustrated out there at the end of the night.
Yeah, and tired.
Yeah, but let's keep it between the whistles and keep it a clean football game. We've been talking about the sportsmanship out of both schools all night and the fans. Let's just keep it that way. And, hey, we just got to hit the weights and run a little harder next year, and we'll come back and get you then.
What a career Matthew Jordan's had.
Wow.
What a career.
Toros let the play clock go all the way down to 5. Johnson, that one bobbled to the near side, but Sammy Harris gets inside the 20 on 3rd and short, and that's going to be good for another Toro first down.
Yeah, great play call there. They're thinking it's going to be a straight ahead run, but then come around with the ending around to the receiver, and easy little pickup there. The Aggies are real aggressive now.
Well, there's one guy that never looks tired on the football field.
Is that one there, huh?
Yeah.
Sammy Harris.
Sammy Harris.
Now Howard comes in. He'll get hit immediately. Play there by Bryant. Now a late flag comes in. It's going to be a taunting.
Some extracurriculars going on in the back there. I didn't see it, but that's where the flag was thrown. Oh, right there. They always see this last one. There was the one that, but, I think the first one was during the time the play was going on, and then the hit came after the fact.
Yep.
After the whistle was blown there.
Quan Crosby, he's still probably not happy about that defensive holding call that took away his interception. He's a senior. Remember your last game, Vic? Remember?
Yeah, I do remember it, actually, because it was a playoff loss.
After the play, personal foul on the defense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Results in a first down.
A lot of my teammates were crying, and I felt bad, but I didn't think tears were worthy of it. I was like, okay, well, let's close this chapter. Let's go up to university.
A lot of those kids had played their last game, and you were going on to play big-time college football on Saturday afternoons.
You know,
and it comes with a bit of butterflies as well, too.
But you've revealed yourself in that last statement as being so pitifully heartless. And I don't know that I can work with you next year now. That might have been it.
Next week?
I'll give him one more week. Maybe he can bounce back.
Get some redemption, huh?
They were crying. I was like, toughen up. I'm going to Bama. What you doing? I'm working at the Exxon. No good. See you. Wow.
First and
terrible
goal from the 9. Johnston wants to go up top, and he can't find Marion.
Almost good adjustment by the receiver to catch that one.
I want to recognize one of our Scholastic athletes from Jackson, Jarrell J.J. Marita. We talked about him, the safety all night, 3.96, top 5% of his class, football and baseball. Awards for Spanish and History, National Honor Society, Providence Hospital volunteer, wants to study medicine.
That is really impressive.
Congratulations there. You see Jarrell J.J. on your screen there. Second and goal. They give it off. Petway tried to reverse his field and takes a big lick in the process is Chris Taylor.
Jackson got some players, huh, Dan?
They do, man. They do.
You know, like you say, it would have been fun to see their quarterback at full strength.
I think so.
Because you can just see the potential in this team.
Yep.
I mean, they've got players. Looks like they're coached up pretty good and got some plays. They just not having success tonight.
Our Scholastic athlete for Spanish Fort, Jason Milner, 3.9 GPA, number 55 out of 257. Also on the National Honorship Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. You see him over there. He's injured to the left of your screen and wants to study civil engineering. He's going to play football for the Jags. He's got the bad knee. We talked to him earlier in the year, but he's going to go to South Alabama and play. And a delightful young man. Johnston fires this one in the end zone, and he's got it to Kevin Marion for the touchdown.
Wow. Talking about snatching it out of the air. He just kind of sucked that one in.
So Johnston, the sophomore to the junior Marion, and this one going to make it a 36-6 score and lead in front of the Toros as they're ready for the semifinal game next week.
Yeah, he had some zip on that one. He put it up high. He climbed the ladder and just inhaled that football, even though it was behind him just a bit.
That is a great catch again.
Theodore Alexander misses another PAT. Alexander Theodore also missed it as well with 2:47 to go. The whole Toros.
One missed the one and the other missed the other one.
Yeah, and I missed it. 36-6 our score. There you go. 2:47 left. 22 in a row for the Toros. They just state champions last year, looking to make it third under coach. They're going to try to make it their second under Coach Threeman, 3 out of the last 4 years.
Right.
Wow, just so impressive over here at the Fort.
And just kind of ho hum, nothing like just wham bam. It's just, hey, we've won the football game. We've executed our offense. We played good defense against your offense, and we're going on.
Williams looking for Hunt on the near sidelines, and that was a big throw there by the sophomore.
He got some air under it for certain. Get a receiver a chance to go make a play. Just didn't have enough jets to get there.
Yeah, he's got an arm on him too.
Yeah, he was 30 of 57 for 380 yards, 7 touchdowns and an interception coming into tonight's game, and also rushed it 61 times for 256 yards and 4 touchdowns. So like Dan was saying, because of the fact that, a lot of big wins by Jackson, that he got to come in and play a lot.
And Matthew Jordan was actually back in the game.
He's lined up as a receiver. Comes out this time. Williams looking to set up the screen, throws that one up high, and he's able to get it complete. It's going to be good for a first down out to about the 35-yard line. As Cody Cabanis, the tight end, comes up with his first catch of the night.
Show a little speed.
We're inside 2.5 to go.
Yeah.
Jordan stays in there, just lines up.
Doing a game in Jackson at some point would be.
We got to do it.
The man.
Jordan will go in motion. Williams wants the big play downfield. Fires this one into coverage, and Hunt pulls it in, but he's well out of bounds.
Ran out of real estate there. Quarterback trying to get a big splash play here, trying to get his team another score before he gets out of here.
Saraland and Spanish Fort have moved into double overtime.
Hello.
Coach Mask playing some mash football up there, huh?
We got some games going on, and again, I realize this is all dated by the time you watch the broadcast, but McGill, Tulane, and Smith Station tied at 21.
So McGill went for 2 because they were down 14-13, so they must have got an 8-point touchdown and double PAT.
2nd and 10. Williams comes to Deshaun Hunt. Look at the quarterback looking to go down the field. Matthew Jordan wanted to go down the field and put a block on Ronald Smith.
Yeah, that'd have been collision right there.
He's still got some gas in him, look like to me.
He does, and well-designed play where it looks like you're going to basically get it to the guy that was on the jet sweep. I guess that was Jordan himself, and they instead throw it inside instead to Hunt. And he's able to break him in other games, but not against this defense.
Yeah, 3rd and 5. Jordan goes in motion. Williams looking over the middle of the field, throwing it up. 4th interception tonight as Matt Hall goes up and pulls this one down.
Hall dropping into coverage, and they always say, I don't think the quarterback ever saw him. I don't think he ever saw him right there, but another great play by Hall.
Yeah, he just did a good little deep drop there and followed the quarterback eyes and took his body over there, went up high, climbed the ladder, picked that off, and tucked it away and says, I'm going to give it to my offense to salt this thing away, and we can start the band and enjoy ourselves on this victory here.
113. Toros will just take a knee. I wouldn't expect Jackson to take their timeouts.
No, it's academic now for sure. So a great season by the Jackson Aggies.
12-1.
But a
That's what
greater,
they'll end up with, right?
Yeah, a greater season by Spanish Fort as they move on, and anybody doing any scoreboard watching at all is saying, whoa.
What's going on down in South Alabama?
Yeah, what's going on in Spanish Fort?
Same thing that's been going on for now 22 straight Friday nights. They continue to be impressive. You just can't overlook the job Mark Freeman's done.
No, he's got a great staff too.
Yep.
They don't waste any time when they're preparing, when they're practicing. Everything is done in a very precise way. Nothing is happenstance. Kids are prepared. Kids expect to win.
And, you know, that little subtle comment he made, I don't know if you guys caught on to it, but we talked about it. You know, he says, we're going to let them see what they want us to do. And certainly he has his offense prepared to do a running game. He has his offense prepared to do a passing game. Whatever the defense wants to give him, they're going to execute from there.
How about Saraland beating St. Paul's in double overtime as they come up with an interception after they score?
Upset Dan Brennan?
I don't know. I guess you would have to call it that since they're more of an upstart team, but they may be very...
Only because they're upstart, right?
But yeah, we haven't had a chance to see them, so we don't know.
Well, they've had a great year by their record for sure, and sneaking into the playoffs the way they did.
Well, the reward
validates it.
The reward is coming over here. So careful what you wish for. But congratulations to Saraland.
You think the fans had signs up saying we want Spanish Fort?
Yeah. Well, I
don't
going
think
there.
So.
I don't think so.
No.
So the Toros 36-6.
You know, I've seen a few people put up saying we want Bama. Maybe it's trickled down to the high school level.
Well, usually at the end they don't want Bama. I got news for you.
As we wait for Pat Greenwood to catch up with Coach Freeman, just, you know,
fireworks go off. I love fireworks.
I think, you know, I think certainly everybody thought Spanish Fort the favorite coming into this game, and I'm not sure 30 was the what people thought would be the people thought would be the differential.
Anybody that knew both these teams, I didn't talk to anybody that thought it could get that far out of hand, but it did. And
Yeah, we expected a more competitive game.
Matthew Jordan a little banged up, and then they were not able, really able to get their weapons on the same page.
Let's go down to Pat Greenwood.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. All right, Coach, 36-6. If I'd have told you that about 6:45 tonight, what would you have said?
Oh, man, I would have taken that in a heartbeat. Just can't say enough about Danny Powell and the job they do over there. And I can't say enough about our kids and our coaches also. Defensive guys have done a great job in the playoffs. I don't know what maybe 2 touchdowns, and they've done a great job in the playoffs. And our kids came out and played hard tonight in a great high school atmosphere. It's just a blessing to do what we do and be able to do it under this kind of situation here.
And it never is with you guys just offense or just defense. I mean, it's everybody.
It is, and that's kind of what we buy into. We don't give MVP trophies at the end of the day. We don't do that. We're just a bunch of guys that want to play hard and prepare and do the best we can do, and we tell them just do the best you can do, and man, we'll wake up in the morning and God will be good and life will be good and just play the best they can. Man, they're doing that right now.
And lastly, talk about playing here specifically. I think now 10-0 in the postseason.
Just a great place, man. You know, just the community's great, and just I think every teacher we had was here tonight. We worked hard. It was a busy day selling the tickets and all, but it was a blessed day. I'm proud of our kids. I'm proud of our coaches, and just can't say enough. But, you know, the thing that scares me now, this one's over. We got to get ready for another one now. So whoever it is, we got to get ready.
Well, it's Saraland, I can tell you that. They won in double overtime. So what do you think about that?
Got to get ready. Jeff's done a great job. And, you know, their team that is rising right now and is one of those teams that they work hard. I know Jeff coaches them kids hard, and it'll be a great game. We're blessed to be there.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Coach. All right, way to go, man. All right, so guys, I have a feeling we might be back here next week. What do you think?
Wow, that's setting up a local matchup between Saraland and Spanish Fort. And again, I just don't think you can, you know, Mark Freeman talks about, can't say enough about my kids, my coaches, my community. We just can't say enough about him.
Yeah, and I think at some point, you know, Mark's classy enough where he doesn't say, hey, how about me?
Right.
But Mark does such a great job in leading this whole program. And there's a lot going on. You think about that this day that Mark was talking about. We were busy. We had people from Jackson pulling in at 9 o'clock. He didn't mention that, but trying to get in the stadium and selling tickets. And there was a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. You would never know it once you watch this team take the field.
Yeah, and we talked about the matchup now with Saraland. Some people, you know, asking maybe it's an upset. But, hey, if you're playing in the semifinals, I mean, everybody's good at this time of year.
Yeah, like I said earlier, this validates Saraland getting as far as they've gone because just like you said, you don't get here by happenstance. It's the work that you've done throughout the year. It's work that you've done on the field in the games that are prior to this. So give them credit. They've earned the spot to come play Spanish Fort, but like Dan said, careful what you wish for.
Well, we'll see.
It's going to be a challenge.
We'll see.
Semifinal matchup next week, Saraland and Spanish Fort. It'll be here in Spanish Fort. And a couple final stats for you. Tyler Johnson tonight, 9 carries, 57 yards, 3 touchdowns rushing, 1 through the air. And Michael Howard, big night, 18 carries, 162 yards, and 1 touchdown. So for Pat Greenwood down on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck, Brian Aaron, our statistician, in the booth, Vic Lockett, Dan Brennan, I'm Jim Cox saying good night from Spanish Fort, where the Toros are defending 5A champions, and they're now 2 wins away from repeating.